So just pulled into Hawley, filled up animal here at the Tony's supermarket, Super Value. They have a Marathon gas station attached to it, and the nice thing about this gas station right here is that they have in the middle pump, they have separate pumps for premium 91 octane, which if you snowmobile, that's awesome. That way I don't have to shoot a little gas into my pickup first and then fill up my snowmobile. Just quick, boom, plug in, and you're set to go. So I'm gonna check to see if it's good to offload here, and the trail is right on the other side of the Highway 10 right there. So I should be able to hop on that and then start our loop today. I think I'm gonna go down and head toward Big Cormorant Lake, and there's a little restaurant, I think it was like Ellie's Cafe. Maybe see if I can get a little lunch there, loop around, and then come back. Here's a little info about the town of Hawley, Minnesota for you. Hawley is located in Clay County, Minnesota along the Buffalo River. The population was 2,219 people according to a 2020 census. Elevation for clutching is 1,152 feet above sea level. Hawley gets its name from a man named Thomas Hawley Canefield. Canefield was in charge of selecting names of stations along the Northern Pacific Railroad, which ran through the now location of modern-day Hawley. 6 name changes for the town of Hawley occurred since 1871, but Hawley was the name that stuck. In the last 10 years, Hawley has seen a surge of residents from the Fargo-Moorhead area who want a smaller town feel. Places to stay include the American Inn by Wyndham and the Riverside Inn Motel. If you're looking for a hotel that is basically located on the trails I rode, just south of Hawley is the Cormorant Inn Bar and Restaurant. It's only about 15 minutes southeast of Hawley. Several gas stations are right off Highway 10 in the middle of town. Like I said before, the Marathon has a separate hose for non-ethanol 91 octane gas, which is ideal for snowmobilers. And connected to the Marathon is Tony's grocery store and the local hardware Hank. So if you need any parts for your bolts or nuts or anything like that for your sled, might be a good place to stop. Places to eat in Hawley include a Subway, Dairy Queen, Minnesota Slice Pizzeria, and the Whistle Stop Cafe. The Whistle Stop Cafe is a place to go for a good breakfast. Right here I had to open up my side panel because I got a coolant heat indicator saying that it was about overheating. I had let my sled idle for probably 3 to 5 minutes, and that had popped up. And when I turned it off, tried starting it up again, it popped up with that error code. So I just let it basically cool down, and then after a little bit I checked to make sure there wasn't any coolant, that maybe I had developed a leak or something like that. But I think it was just due to the running it and then sitting there for a while letting it idle. That's what caused the problem. So as you can see in this shot and the shot before, the trails were freshly groomed. I was actually the first person who must have just followed the groomer shortly thereafter that day. Right up here on the right, you can see this sign. This is a sign for actually the Snowmobile Club, who is responsible for grooming these trails, but I'll mention them later in this video. These clubs, though, are usually made of volunteers in the area who are snowmobile enthusiasts. They have a passion for the sport, and we can't thank them enough, us snowmobilers out there. The groomers that they use they're manufactured by Prinith, Piston Bully, Arrowhead, Track Incorporate, and Nordic, just to name a few. Membership dues and state grants, fundraising help to pay and maintain the equipment for the trails. During the day, I can't stress enough the importance of safety when snowmobiling and operating around these groomers. The safety lights aren't illuminated from a distance like they are at nighttime. Don't just blow by these guys when passing. Most groomer operators have years of experience in safety classes, which include rider awareness. When coming up from behind the groomer, I like to wait a safe distance behind them until they spot me. The groomer will then usually slow and pull over, making it safe to pass. For a head-on meet, they will usually move to the side, but sometimes they are as wide as the trail is. In this case, I like to pull off to the side of the trail and let them work around me. I give them the universal snowmobile hand signal for how many snowmobilers are riding in my group. And once they move on, then it's back to riding. Speaking of back to riding, let's see a little more of the trails. I got 15 miles to go if I want to get to Cormorant Village. Here they got some shelter there. If I would have packed a lunch, I would just eat at the shelter coming up. Came from Hawley. And there we are. It's about 10 degrees out today. It was pretty nippy at first. Now that I've done some twists and turns, it's actually been fairly, it's warming up now. So I just got a lake here just on the other side. Beautiful day out, sun shining. So I'm just kind of thinking if I can make it all the way to Cormorant, back again, and then back home. I told my gear you see here, as you can tell, is FXR brand. I went back and forth between a few different brands and I finally decided on FXR. It took me about 2 years to pick out the Cold Cross pants with the matching RRX jacket. So the jacket I bought last year, and that's a size 2XL, black and white in color, and love the jacket, it's great. Last year I wore snow pants by 686, and they're the Smarty pants that they had. I thought I was happy with this until I saw the number 27 snowcross racer Peter Narsa on SeaTac TV YouTube channel, and Narsa was wearing the all black and white FXR Cold Cross jacket pants combo, and I knew I had to have that. So this year, once Black Friday dropped, I picked up the pants to go with it and love it. I had to take my liner though for my 686, the Smarty pants. I pulled that out and then I just wear those with the FXR pants, and it works great, because otherwise the Cold Cross pants are just like a shell. They're meant for snowcross, but great flexibility, great riding, windproof and everything like that. So just in love with the gear that I have going right now. So I made it to Boy. I think it was like BOJIOU, something like that. Boy Lake out here. I'm not gonna make it to Cormorant. I promised my daughter I'd be back, and I just decided that this was a pretty good, nice scenic spot to end with. So good ride. It was a little chilly to start, a little cold right now with the wind, but man, just beautiful sunlight. Not a lot of people out on the trails. Actually, I haven't seen one other sled today. The trails are freshly groomed, which was awesome, and it's been a good mix of, yeah, there's a lot of fields, but then I've had some wood cut-ins and meandering through a bunch of scenic spots. So one thing I love about snowmobiling is this kind of stuff right here. I don't know if this is a old farmstead or what this place was before, but it just makes you stop and think, you know, the history of the area and what you come across. to your right there is another deer stand. You see a lot of those on the trails. People who own the lands that these trails go through are usually snowmobilers or avid outdoorsmen, so thanks to all of them as well. So I do want to take time to thank the Angry Dragons Snowmobile Club, because without groups like this, none of this would be possible. They do a lot of work as far as grooming, clearing out the trails, and making sure that guys like me can go out and have fun. So thank you to the Angry Dragons Club. We're loaded up. That is a wrap in Hawley. It is cold out. I think the temp has dipped down. Oh, it hasn't dipped down. It's 14, but the wind has picked up for sure, because on the way back it was freezing. So we're loaded up. I'm gonna get some Subway here in Hawley and call it a day.